Good morning. My name is Mick Rach. I work at Vachette Pathology and Stark Medical Auditing. I'm the CEO of these firms, and I spend my time looking at revenue management and revenue strategies for medical practices around the nation. We currently work with about 93 practices nationwide, anyway from little tiny practices with 1 or 2 providers to practices with 60 and 70 providers. I want to talk to you today about some changes coming up next year that are going to affect you big time. Some recent items in the news, for example, was the Obama administration coming out and saying that they're going to start measuring healthcare networks by the number of physicians and the number of hospitals they have within those networks. What does this mean for the private practice world? Well, it means further consolidation. It means that they're going to want more practices in bigger pools. It means consolidation of healthcare systems and consolidations of physician practices. And this will probably affect you in the next 6 to 18 months for sure. Another item we want to talk about is the merit-based incentive payment system. This is coming out, the initial plan is going to come out this summer. It's going to be very, very interesting. Think of this as PQRS on steroids. A recent article in Medical Economics in February 25th issue, for example, came out and called this change being probably the end of private practice, because there's a lot of metrics that are going to have to be tied together. For the last couple of years, we've tracked PQRS, and many practices have done well on that. Some have not done so well. About 50% of the practices are struggling with PQRS. Do you realize that probably 50% of the practices out there are getting 1.5% less in their Medicare dollars because of mistakes they made in 2014? Have you checked your Medicare EOBs? Has your billing company checked this? Has anybody taken time and effort to look at this to see if you're actually getting paid correctly? Because this could be happening to you right now. And I can guarantee you, your biller's not going to check it. Somebody has to check it. And this is going to be bigger and badder going forward. The Merit-Based Incentive Payment System, MIPS, quote unquote, is coming out next January. And it's going to track 4 qualities. It's going to track a quality measurement, a value-based payment modifier measurement, a electronic health record measurement, and a clinical practice measurement. These are going to add up to 100 points. You're going to get, I think, 30, 30, 25, and 15 respectively. It adds up to 100 points. If you score 100 points, you'll be eligible for your bucket in the pool. Now, it could be plus or minus 9% as we go forward. So if you hit all your metrics, you're going to be able to get, by 2020, a plus 9% with a bonus incentive of up to plus 27% if you do it right. If you do it wrong, it's going to be minus 9% of every payment from Medicare. That's a huge number. Most practices have 50 or 60% of their dollars tied to Medicare dollars. If you take away 10% of that, it's going to really, really affect you in a negative way. The initial rule comes out this summer. The more detailed rules will be out this fall, probably in the Medicare updates and the Federal Register updates this fall. And here's the one thing that's very interesting. We're not just saying if you do it right, you're going to get more money. If you do it wrong, you're going to get less money. There's a fixed pool of money. The practices that do it more correct are going to make more money, and the ones that fail are going to make a lot less money. So you could even, if you hit your metrics and everybody else hits your metrics, the number might be lower. But if you hit your metrics and nobody else hits the metrics, your bonus payment might be very, very high, up to 27%, which is a good thing. We have a really good white paper on this, which explains some of the rules and some of the regulations and where we're going. It's on vachettepathology.com, and it's on starkmedicalauditing.com. You go on those websites, look up the white paper, drop in your email, and we'll send you a copy. Feel free to give me a call directly if you have questions. Again, my name is Mick Rach. A couple other things I want to talk about. Let's look at actually the insurance plans and what's taking place there. Highmark Insurance, which covers Pennsylvania and West Virginia and Delaware, it's like a Blue Cross product, came out and said that they're going to lower their physician payments 4% in the upcoming year. Why? Well, they've lost $221 million handling exchange plans now. And they predict to lose another $500 million with exchange enrollees. Basically, they're giving out more care than they're taking in premiums. So they have to cut things. So they're going to come to you as a physician and say, we're cutting your payment 4%. How are you going to handle this? Where are you going to make up 4% of this revenue stream? Who are you going to use to negotiate that? What's your leverage? I'm the guy you want to talk to. Our company does this for you. We'll be happy to do this for you. We fought these type of battles before. We'll fight them again, I guarantee it. Another thing I want to talk about a little bit is toxicology. You see a lot about this in the news. Toxicology labs are all over with the OIG investigating them. Aetna, Cigna, United Healthcare, Horizon Blue Cross, they're all suing these type of labs. This is a classic example of these labs that might be doing something fraudulent, and the payers have come out and said, nope, we're not even going to play this game anymore. In fact, one of them, I think Cigna, came out and said, we want proof that the patient paid before we even pay you. It's a very interesting rule. We think there's a lot of rather unique billing going on in that world, and we think that it's going to be more and more, and you look for some big lawsuits in the next couple of years in that environment. The last thing I want to talk about is the future. We know it's coming. We know that 65% of all medical practices are rolled up into health systems. We know health systems are trying to figure out how to bill for these practices. I have to ask you, what's your strategy going forward? When's the last time you sat down and said, what am I going to do in the next 5 years? And how am I going to make money? And how am I going to be viable? Give me a call. My number is 517-486-4262. That's our office number. We're there 8 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, all day, every day. Give me a call. I'll be happy to chat with you. Maybe we can talk a little bit. If you have questions about this or you just want to chew the fat on this, I'll do my best. Thank you very much.